So the story starts in August last year. The Americans pulled out. Hundreds of thousands, millions of Afghans were left to the mercy of the Taliban. Many of them worked with the US forces. Many of them were human rights activists. So we started receiving calls from groups of some of the most vulnerable Afghans who asked if we can help rescue them. And we honestly didn't know what we can do in Afghanistan. We didn't have a presence there. The first phone call I received was from an Israeli-British journalist who wrote a story for the New York Times. Her name is Dana Harman. She wrote this story about the first Afghan girls robotics team, really a symbol of girls' empowerment in the country. She asked if we can rescue these girls who became like a family to her. Then we got another phone call from Israeli philanthropist Sylvan Adams, who was helping the first Afghan girls cycling team, who asked if we can save them because riding a bike for women in Afghanistan under Taliban could be punished by death. We really didn't know what we can do. But I started making phone calls, and I called a friend who worked with us a few years ago when we helped Syrian refugees who escaped Syria to Turkey and then to Greece. And he told me he has a contact in Afghanistan that could secure a safe passage. So we organized a bus of 42 girls and their family members. And they made it all the way to the border with Tajikistan, and we were able to receive a permit to cross from the Taliban. And I can't tell you how we did it. And when they reached the border of Tajikistan, the Tajikis wouldn't open the border. So then we called on world leaders and leading philanthropists and business people, and you name it, to convince the president of Tajikistan to open it. After 3 days, when these girls and family members were surrounded by Taliban, they finally were able to cross the border, which is where our team received them. Then we had another problem because these girls didn't have a place to stay. They couldn't stay in Tajikistan, and we called on our best new friends, the United Arab Emirates. When they heard that an Israeli group rescued a group of Afghan girls, they immediately decided to take them, and it was the direct decision of the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed, and he called it the first joint humanitarian mission of Israel and the United Arab Emirates. As good Israelis, with a lot of chutzpah, we said, well, 42 is not enough. We have to get more out. So we decided to put up a bigger group of 125, including family members of these two groups, including the family of the Afghan ambassador to the UN, and a special request I received from the President of Israel to rescue the last Jewish women who were in Afghanistan. We decided to organize a charter flight from another airport in northern Afghanistan, from Mazar Sharif. But we had a serious problem because out of the 125, 41 didn't have passports. Long story short, finally they are safe and made it to Albania with the help of Prime Minister Edi Rama, who sees it as a continuation of the historic role of Albania, who saved all of their Jewish community during the Holocaust. I don't know if many people know that, but Albania is the only country in Europe that ended World War II with a higher number of Jews than it started. So it's all about miracles. This is what it's all about. This is what Israel is about. This is what the World Jewish Values and Network is about. And we're so honored to be here with all of you tonight. Thank you.